Hello, good morning everyone. I'm Akshay and welcome back to the Red Devils podcast. Manchester United have finally defeated Leeds United at the Elland Road by 2-0. The Reds go marching on at the Elland Road. So guys, finally we got our revenge. Leeds United can go back, suck lemons and fight for the relegation zone. Man United are moving forward. I mean, we are not like moving forward for the title race. I know I'm not gonna bother you all by talking about the title race because we know we aren't in the title race. But still, I'm happy that we got 3 points. We kept a clean sheet, and practically last night's performance was absolutely shit. Until 70 minutes, we were actually shit. I'm gonna talk about individuals a little bit later, and we're gonna also talk about the UK government and the Premier League giving thumbs up to Qatari investment. But before that, let's talk about the last night's match. And I mean, Eric Ten Hag is actually genius. I know I've been saying this a lot on this channel, but the man can't do anything wrong right now. Just like Rashford, he can't do anything wrong right now. And the substitutes were amazing. We all know Harry Maguire is crap. Harry Maguire should be kicked out of this club. People were actually last night talking about his performance, that he came back, he's the club captain and he's been doing well. That man was playing like a lump of clay and he's like completely shit. The n number of times when he gave passes to Leeds United player, the n number of times when he tried to reenact the way Varane and Martinez give long balls to the striker or the wingers, every single time he just delivered it to either to Ayling or to Bamford or that Summerswell, whatever the fucking his name is. But that's the biggest issue. That is why we need another centre back in the transfer summer window, because we all know Harry Maguire can't do stuff. Harry Maguire needs to be sold out, whether it's 20 million, 30 million, 50, I don't care a fuck. I need Harry Maguire out of this club. He doesn't deserve to be club's captain. He's never a Premier League top 4 player. I don't know why we bought him. In fact, we bought him for aerial duels and headers and everything, for set pieces. He's shit in those too. He can't even defend his back post. He was actually dominated by Leeds United when it was a set piece thing. I don't remember exactly, but it was 60 or 63rd minute when they took a corner and the ball was curling through the center, and that asshole, it was Patrick Bamford, I guess, or maybe it was Ayling only. I guess it was Patrick Bamford. And Patrick Bamford and Harry Maguire both were like standing idle, and then he jumped higher than Harry Maguire and he knocked the ball out of the field. But that was another thing. What if that went to the post? What if that went to the goal area? And that was what worries me. We need another centre back if we want to rest Varane, like Eric Ten Hag rested Varane for Barcelona game. If you want to rest Varane, you want to rest Lisandro Martinez, then what? Then who's gonna play? I don't think so. Harry Maguire can play for this club. And let me remind you, I'm gonna talk about substitution now. The moment Lisandro Martinez was on the play, he was absolutely brilliant. He made a couple of brilliant tackles. He showed Leeds United that Manchester United defense is stronger than it looks. Harry Maguire is crap, no doubt, but I'm here. And that is what, actually motivated me while I was watching the match, because I was really pissed off by watching, Maguire play like a lump of clay. He can't do shit. He's that neurotic buffoon who's never gonna play for the top 4 club again. I really want him to go in the summers. And as we were talking about substitutes, the moment Lisandro Martinez was subbed on, he started making tackles. He started giving the ball forwards. He was the one who gave the ball to I think it was Bruno Fernandes, or it was I think it was Sabitzer, and then Sabitzer passed it on to Luke Shaw, and then Luke Shaw gave that brilliant assist by Marcus Rashford, and Rashford just netted that in, because again Marcus Rashford can't do anything wrong right now. He's in a sublime form. He's like playing like a magician. I mean, either you can play him from the left wing, or you can play him as a centre forward. As of this moment, Marcus Rashford is unbelievable. I mean, remember the days when Marcus Rashford used to avoid crosses, used to, he used to close his eyes when he used to go for the headers, and now he's actually scoring headers again and again consecutively in football matches. And that is what Erik ten Hag has done to that lad, and I'm really happy and proud of it, because in this moment, if anybody is going to say that Mbappe or Saka or anyone else is like in their form, in their hot form, I don't give a fuck about anyone, because Marcus Rashford is over the moon right now. In fact, he has been given a challenge by Erik ten Hag only, that he needs to score at least 30-35 goals this season. He's already 21 now, I guess. Yeah, I guess he's already in 21. So, I'm really happy to see Rashford play like that. And as we were talking about substitutes, Garnacho, another talent from our youth club, and this is what sort of motivates you to encourage our youth, because finally we are seeing that there's a development. We were always talking about development because Solskjaer couldn't do it because he was not a good manager. Mourinho never was interested in entertaining youth, and now finally we have a manager who knows how to develop a certain player. And we can see that development in Garnacho, his blistering speed, and the way he was, making forward runs, and the way he scored that goal. That finish was clinical. I mean, it was near the goalkeeper's right-sided post, and it was closer to goalkeeper. I don't remember his name, but still, it was struck so clinical and so hard that he couldn't do shit about it. And that is amazing for a player like Garnacho, who is coming from the youths, and he's now getting more game time, and now finally he's scoring goals, because in last time he played, he shot couple of shots towards the goal post, but it was either the goal post or the crossbar, or then it went just behind the net area. So finally he's scoring goals too, and now another player who I really want to see get that amount of game time is Pellistri, because remember Pellistri last time when he was on the field, he was actually delivering crosses. He gave a brilliant assist to Rashford in his last match. So I really want to see Pellistri more often than he's actually getting game time. I mean, no offense to Garnacho. Garnacho is another great talent, and right now we need these sort of players, because we are lacking in squad depth. We don't have that enough depth in our attacking area, because Anthony Martial is again, I don't even want to delve about that particular area, because Anthony Martial Anthony Martial should be shipped off to somewhere, because I don't think so now Anthony Martial needs to be at the club, because you can't have a number 9 who can't even play against Leeds United. You can't have a number 9. You need to have a number 9 who can actually play in week out. Whether he scores goals or not, that is another thing. But you need a number 9, proper number 9. I mean, I was all praises for Weghorst when we were playing last night. Weghorst was amazingly. I mean, this was Erik ten Hag again. He was at his genius best, but Erik ten Hag made him sit in the number 10 position. He was doing some great defensive work. He was standing next to Harry Maguire when he in a couple of set pieces. He was standing again between Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw in some counter-attacking football from Leeds United. So that is what actually sort of lifted me up when I was actually watching my striker play like a central defensive midfielder. He was Coming back in, he was making some defenses, and then he was giving the ball. And don't forget, he assisted Garnacho for that goal. He was the one who took the ball from Bruno Fernandes and then assisted to Garnacho. So kind of like he is now playing that number 9 role, which is he was supposed to play as a backup, but now he's playing in and out of every week. I was really disheartened to see when his goal was disallowed because it was offside. But I really want him to score a goal for Man United because I'm pretty much confident about this, that he's gonna love that moment. It was his dream. It was his dream to play for United, and now if he gets a goal as soon as possible, I'll be really happy. I'm pretty much sure that he's gonna play as a number 9 against Barcelona now in the midweek. And if that happens, I really want him to score a goal in Europa League or in Premier League, anywhere. I just want him to score, a goal for Man United, because that's gonna give him a real boost. And again, like I said, I don't want to talk about Anthony Martial again, because that man, I think his time is up. I think his time is up. And as we were talking about individuals, David De Gea, he made his 400 appearance, and that too was a clean sheet. He's somewhat, I guess, equaled Schmeichel's record, or he's surpassed that. I don't actually, I should have researched that. I'm really sorry. But like I've been saying, that David De Gea has been brilliant throughout the decade. There were some bad moments, but every player has that. But unfortunately for Dean Henderson, he's never gonna be number 1 until David De Gea is at the club, and I don't think so there's any reason that David De Gea is going anywhere. I think he can play football for Man United as the number 1 for at least next 4 to 5 years. So I think Dean Henderson should be shipped off to somewhere. We should earn some money from him, and we should buy another young goalkeeper who can actually live in the shadow of David De Gea for at least 3 to 4 years. I don't think so. Before that, there's any point of purchasing or loaning a goalkeeper who's actually a number 1 goalkeeper, because that's never gonna happen. David De Gea has actually strengthened his position as the number 1 of Man United defense, and I think he's immovable. I think he's irreplaceable. You can't find a better goalkeeper than him. Even in last night, he made some amazing couple of saves. If he hadn't, the game would have costed us. That would have costed us the game. But finally, he kept a clean sheet. I was happy with it, because he didn't have anything to do for the most number of time, because even Leeds United were playing like shit in the first 60 minutes. They were counter-attacking, they were physical, the intensity was great between both the teams, but neither of them were actually playing clinical in the third half of the pitch, in the final half of the pitch. So that is that is in a nutshell of last night's match. But once Erik ten Hag made substitutes, once Garnacho and Martinez were on the field, it was done. It was absolutely done. 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we scored 2 goals, and we actually put the game to the rest. Leeds United fans were chanting, they were abusing, and in fact, they were abusing that Munich tragedy, and some of the Man United fans were also stooping down to that level, and that was very disappointing to see, because Leeds United players, Leeds United fans, I'm sorry, you can expect that from them, because they have usually spent their life in the relegation zone or in the championship. But Man United fans should behave better than that. They should just ignore that bullshit, ignore that crap, and just move on, because we won the game. We proved on the Elland Road that we are better than them, so we don't need to stoop down to their level. But unfortunately, and that never happened, and both the fans were abusing each other, abusing the tragedies of the club. And then Manchester United and Leeds United both officially condemned that sort of behavior is not acceptable from the fans, and it was on the Man United official app also. But let's not talk about that. Fine. The basic point, the gist of the conversation was that Man United goes marching on the Elland Road as we defeated our rival Leeds United by 2 goals, and we kept a clean sheet, and that is what I'm happy about, because we are at least we have cemented our place in the top four. Championship, when the season started, all our hopes were about Champions League football. We wanted to play Champions League, we wanted to be in the top four, and I think last night win gave us that advantage, that now we can't be, we can't lose that place now, because I think so that we have cemented our place. This may sound arrogant, but this is not arrogance, it's just basic facts, because Tottenham doesn't have balls to do anything about their form. Chelsea and Liverpool are way out of our league right now, and they have their own problems. It's between Arsenal and Man City, because Arsenal and Man City will be like, if they do something really bad, then it's gonna be a title race for us. But until then, they are playing their normal games. I don't think so we'll be in the title race. All I want is, us to be in the top four. I'm pretty much sure that Newcastle United will follow up, but I think we have, gained our top four, and Champions League football is confirmed for next season. So, I'm okay with it. I don't have any problem with it. That is what my aim was when we signed Erik ten Hag, and we, gave him some players. Not all the players were of his choice, but at least we gave him some players. And in that moment, I was happy with it. Even in last night, I still believe that we need a striker, we need another central defensive midfielder and a centre back. Because even in last night, we were actually shit, because Fred wasn't able to do that job which Casemiro does it with ease. So we need somebody to back up Casemiro. Now when Casemiro is suspended for 3 matches, and remember that Casemiro won't be playing in the Barcelona game too. So when this stuff happens, you need the other defensive midfielder who can actually play that role. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Fred did a brilliant job. Fred was trying really good, but there were moments when Fred wasn't tracking back, and that is what worries me. What happens with Barcelona? We need to win that game. We need to at least go for that game, at least a 0-0 or at least a draw. We can't lose at Nou Camp, because if we're gonna lose at Nou Camp, it's gonna be really troublesome for us to win at Old Trafford, because they are gonna press heavily. They're gonna do something really creative, and Man United will come under pressure. I don't want that. I don't want that at Old Trafford. So I want at least a draw, or at least a 0-0 draw, so that they don't have an advantage when they are coming to Old Trafford next week. But I'm happy that we won last night, and we played like shit. We never played a great game of football, but at least we won, so I'm happy about it. But you know what, let's move on to another interesting stuff, because there were some reports by the Daily Mail. Again, remember, Mike Keegan also reported everything about those 5 bids. I mentioned that in my previous video, and now the Daily Mail has come up with another news that from a particular source. They never mentioned that, because why will they? But they've actually come up with a new source that Manchester United, not Manchester United, the Premier League and the UK government have given thumbs up to the Qatari Sports Investment, so that they can officially go for their bid, and they won't be having any trouble with the Premier League or the UK government. I mean, the UK government won't give any, won't hesitate for Qatari investment, because they'll be investing in the country, and recently they just avoided recession. So why would, if they just avoided recession and now they're getting investment from Middle East, why would they hamper the deal? So kind of like they're okay with it. Premier League also gave a thumbs up to Qatari Sports Investment, because previously there was some rumors that it's not going to be okay, because Qatari Sports Investment, remember, already has PSG in their ownership. So they can't buy 2 clubs who are actually competing in Champions League. But then they were given clean sheet to go for it, because if they buy Man United through a different entity through a different spokesperson or representative, they'll be okay with it. The area of conflict would be that there needs to be 2 different entities who are actually owning the football clubs. Like the QSI are actually owning PSG through a joint venture fund. But if they own this Man United through a separate entity, either in one person or in a couple of or with couple of people, they're going to be okay with it, as long as they are not having a conflict of interest with PSG management. So this is a big news. It's coming from Daily Mail, so I won't say that it's not credible. It's somewhat credible. Like you can go with like 70-80%. That's a big number. So that is what happened. And remember, Man United and the problem that Man United is facing right now is not that big of a problem, because already we have an example that Red Bull, the firm Red Bull, actually owns two football teams, Salzburg and RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg. So kind of like they already have, and both the teams play in Champions League. So we already have two teams who are actually playing like that. The ownership of Man United, this is actually encouraged by, I really want to get this right, it's coming from the Sheikh Emir. So I'm really sorry. It's coming from Emir of Qatar, Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. I hope that I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, I'm really sorry. And he is really interested in buying Man United, and he believes that his bid of around 5 billion will be like closer to what Glazers are expecting from the bidders. So he'll be really interested in that. And he's encouraging that, and sort of, like I said, UK government won't be imposing any ban or any problems with it, because they'll be getting financial wealth into the Man United. Because let's face it, we need somebody. I'm not anti Sir Jim Ratcliffe or anti Qatari, because I don't want to get into that. But the point is, we'll be needing investment, because it's gonna cost around 5 billions for the ownership of Man United, then at least 1.5 to 2 billion to at least for the Old Trafford development, for the development, modernizing the equipments in Carrington, and then investing in the squad. So we'll be needing at least 2 to 3 billions more after the ownership of Man United. So you need somebody who has that kind of financial wealth in their pockets. And if Qatari can do that, I'm not gonna go for that kind of ownership that like Man City does, that we're gonna get Qatari investment, we're gonna spend billions and billions over the club, we are winning trophies and everything, but then after a decade we are facing these fraud charges that Man City are actually facing now. So we don't want that. But like I said this in my previous video also, that whether it's immoral or whether it's moral, I'm not delving into that, because this is not my decision. It's not gonna be my decision, it's gonna be the Glazers' decision. And if something happens, if Qataris are buying Man United, I'll be okay with it. I don't have a problem with them owning Man United, because as far as I'm a Man United fan, I don't care about who's the owner. I just want somebody who loves the club, who invests in the club, and who wants that Man United, who wants to put Man United back at the top where it belongs. We don't belong to chase the top four. We don't belong to play in the Europa League. We belong to Champions League, lifting the cup. We belong to the Premier League winners, like we did in 3 times back in 1999, 2007. We belong to that era. We don't belong to this. But finally, Erik ten Hag is doing something, and like I said, Erik ten Hag is a genius. So I'm gonna support the process. I'm gonna trust in the manager. I just want a couple of people from the management to shipped off, and a couple of players from the squad to shipped off. But until then, let's see what happens. This is going to be a very crucial week, because remember in last video I also said this, that this Friday will be a soft deadline for all the bids. It may be possible that we're going to get new bids, or from some other consortiums, or from some other individual, but this Friday will be very crucial for Man United and for the Glazers, because maybe there will be some rumor, or maybe there will be some official update from them that we have received a bid from somebody, and that's going to be really exciting. So this is going to be a really exciting week, because we are playing Barcelona at Nou Camp, and that's an away game. So let's hope for the best, because let's hope that the way Reds marched on to Elland Road, let's hope we march on to Nou Camp. Please, take care of yourself. Thank you for tuning in and watching the show. Please support the channel like you guys are doing amazingly. Please just keep supporting the channel, and me too. Bye bye. Glory, glory, Man United.